Transformative is a series of short films that try and explain the history of fashion photography as seen from the perspective of the stylist, the makeup artist and the hairdresser.
Do you think there was one picture or one job or one sitting that kind of, if you want, made everybody go, okay, this is somebody's young hairdresser who's got talent, we should want... Do you think there was one that did that?
I think there was one
turning point?
There was a one page. There was a story on. There was a haircut story in Vogue,
Yeah.
and I did a haircut, and it was a double page spread of when they used to do that kind of step by step of that, and it was a short haircut. And I know that Brian Bantry, my agent, and who has been my agent for 30 odd years in New York.
Yeah.
They saw that and loved it, and I went to see them, and that was in '82, and I began to work in New York, and that was kind of what set me off, I guess.
So you think, am I right in saying that really you felt that you had to go to New York to start to succeed on the international market?
Yeah, well, the business was very small in London. I mean, it was tiny. The business all over the world wasn't huge, but London was really in its infancy. I think I'm probably right in saying that here, if I wasn't the first, I was one of the few at the beginning who didn't do hair and makeup and who didn't work from a salon. I kind of stuck my neck out and left the salon and thought, well, you know, if it doesn't work, I can always, go back to that.
Yeah. I'm going to jump you around a little bit. Okay, do you think that's yours?
Yeah.
It's always a real fear I have. I can put an image down from. Actually, that's not mine. Tell me a little bit about this shoot.
Madonna Bedtime Stories, shot by Patrick Demarchelier in Miami.
Yeah.
Art directed by Fabienne Baron. I guess early 90s. Yeah, early 90s. I was in New York, living and working in New York, and worked with Patrick a lot, worked with Fabienne a lot. Patrick was doing a Madonna album cover. Yep, let's go. Miami. I was very happy to be booked for that because I'd never worked with Madonna before. And she was pretty big at the time.
Yeah.
And I mean, shoots were much, much lower key then.
Right.
There weren't 50 people on a shoot.
Right.
You know, it was much less.
Right.
You know, and
well, one of the things I wanted to ask you is a little bit how they've changed over the years.
Well, they've become big productions now.
Right.
It's all singing, all dancing, big production. I love a little intimate studio. I mean, it's the communication sometimes is easier.
Yeah, well, as I said to you last night, I spoke to Mary Greenwell, and I was talking about some might be your favourite images or favourite shoots you've done, and she was saying, oh, back in the 80s, it wasn't about money. It was all just about having fun.
No, it wasn't.
No,
it wasn't about money back then at all. It was, in fact, I'd have been happier doing editorial than doing advertising, because the advertising tended to be sort of clunky, most of it tended to be clunky, sort of catalogue-y type, a bit old-fashioned, a bit commercial. I mean, that's all changed, the advertising vies with the editorial now for content a lot of the time,
But going back to Madonna cover, how was it? Because Patrick's a particular sort of photographer, isn't he? Mm-hmm. Could you describe his way of working to me?
Patrick's very, very relaxed. Yeah. He's super relaxed. He's very easy. He's charming. He's French. Yeah. He's kind of he loves people, and he loves women. Right. He loves making women look and feel gorgeous, and he can make a woman sort of feel great about herself before sort of taking a picture of her. So it's not painful. It's a sort of seductive experience, I would imagine.
Yeah. And how? Because I've been told he's a very fast shooter. That he's it's not going to spend hours and hours and hours on the same shot. It's quite over quite quickly.
I think in my experience with Patrick, and I've worked with him a lot over the last many years, he catches something in his pictures that happens. That moment, and we talked about it before, that moment when the hair and makeup will be on set, or I'll be moving the hair, and then I move away, and there's a few frames there where the girl is not modelling.
Yeah.
Well, the woman she's not being aware of the camera, and she's paying attention, but she's not fully engaged. And there's something in Patrick Pictures that I can see when that happens, and there's obviously something in Patrick that doesn't like it when it's too forced, you know. So there's a little magic moment there that he likes to capture. And I think when a lot of subjects, especially celebrities or young models who are quite inexperienced in a stills environment, when they get bored, and the boredom threshold is really low when you're sitting here with a light at you and a camera and 10 people or these days 50 people watching you, it's a bit intimidating. And I think Patrick's speed and his lighting's great. He likes things to happen quickly so that he can capture that moment. Yeah. Because I think when it's laboured, he can see that.
Yeah. Well, it is something you're very right. We've talked about it, and I notice it a lot on shoots. And also, you say that Patrick's very good at putting making the woman feel beautiful. It's a sort of slightly seductive process. But one of the great things about working with you, and I noticed over the years, is the state of mind that the model arrives to me in. I actually spent an hour or so with you, and you're very good at making those models or those actresses feel very special and very relaxed. And so I get, or the photographer you're working with, gets somebody who's already in a great space. And they're sort of saying that Patrick's a bit like that as well. And I see, as you said, we spoke about this on the shoots, is that I'll notice that, when I'm looking through the camera and the hair and makeup's being done, when you approach the model, when you approach Kate or whoever it is, you notice that almost sort of palpable change in their mood, sort of relaxes and lightens. And then when you move away again, it goes back to the kind of more, sort of.
No, I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah, which is often why I'm very happy when you go.
Yeah.
Because you need to find that. But how's Madonna to work with? Because I worked with
Madonna was great. I've only, it was the one and only time I've worked with Madonna, and she was fantastic. She was, I must say, she was. It was her birthday, and I kind of regret she was having a birthday party that night in Miami, and I think we shot, was it 1 day or 2 days? 2 days maybe. And I had to go back to New York for a shoot for Vogue in the Hamptons, and I probably should have just kind of gone to the party, because it was the heady days of MTV and all that kind of stuff. It would have been great. Anyway, it's not a regret. I didn't go. But we shot a few pictures, and they turned out all right, I think. Yeah.
They turned out very well indeed. In your experience, what I'm trying to find out is, when you were in America, interested in the period when you were in America in the 80s, did you feel that the fashion you were shooting and the social life you were leading was connected more than it is now?
Yeah, but I would say that's a lot to do with my age. Right. As well, because at the time in New York, the industry, when I was 82 in New York, that whole 80s thing, we all grew up together. The whole business grew up together. It was a lot of fun, and it was a lot of creativity. Yeah. We made a bit of money, but we spent a lot of money, and it wasn't really, the money wasn't the be all and end all, It was about making lots of great images, having fun. We all hung out together because we were all similar ages. Yeah. I was a bit older. Right. We were all kind of similar ages. And the downtown nightclub scene in New York was just emerging. Right. And it was kind of linked into the fashion world. Yeah. And, Madonna's a prime example of that. Yeah. And it was a lot of fun. And then, in the mid-90s, the commerce side of it kicked in.
Yeah. And changed things.
And it grew, and the business grew up,